So this is my Duchess. She is a good girl. Black lab, really easy to train. Intelligent, and she wants to please. But I'm afraid that training a dog, training a dog and how people learn are quite different. Go on, girl. So how do people learn? My concern is that a lot of times with teaching, we do what works well with training dogs, training animals, and not what we know from research causes kids to learn, people to learn. So in the book, How People Learn, right here, you can download it free online. Chapter 1 gives, I think, just the core of a whole new paradigm about teaching and learning. And it has changed the way that I think about what I do as a teacher, because it's changed what I see when learning is really happening. And it's not behaviorism like training my Duchess. It's something different. So 3 key findings you would find in Chapter 1. The first thing that research, thousands of studies, has told us is that kids come to the classroom with misconceptions, with prior ideas. And if we don't pay attention to those ideas, then those ideas get in the way of what we want them to learn. In my field of science, kids have all kinds of misconceptions. Misconceptions about Newton's laws, misconceptions about atoms and molecules, misconceptions about genetics. And some of their misconceptions can cause them to be sick or even die if we don't pay attention to those misconceptions so that they can really learn science. They could make a mistake behind the wheel of a car or not understand cancer treatment because they have a misconception that was never addressed and disembedded by their teacher. So prior ideas. What are you doing to find out what your students know before you ever start teaching? Second big finding from thousands and thousands of studies from cognitive science is that learners have to be in charge of organizing facts in a conceptual framework. So facts are important. Part of learning is knowing the facts. But these days, facts are at learners' fingertips. So what do we do to get them to make those facts stick in their head? Well, they have to do the work of organizing them, and a key idea here is conceptual framework. That big understanding, one way to do that is with essential questions, that big idea that learners organize all their knowledge around. Does that make sense? If not, grab the book and dig into it. How People Learn does a great job in future chapters of laying out classroom practice for some of these. And we're not through yet. Because even if teachers recognize children's prior ideas, and even if teachers help their learners to get all the facts organized with a big idea, sometimes that learning doesn't stick unless we go on to the third big finding from thousands and thousands of studies, and that is that metacognition is key. So what's metacognition? Well, metacognition, you may know, is thinking about thinking. And to me, it's the final step of learning, where learners have to step back and think about how their ideas have changed. And when they think about that, then those ideas settle in long-term memory. And a key thing I've learned there, especially in my science classroom, is that is the point when they often revisit a prior idea that's wrong and decide to discard it. They decide at that point, oh, that idea didn't make any sense in light of all that they've learned, and they decide to give it up. Great thing about this is as teachers implement these 3 big ideas, key ideas from what research has said about how people really learn, then we begin to see our students learning in such a way that it sticks, and it sticks for a lifetime. So, how about your classroom? Are you being more behavioristic, like when I try and train my Duchess? Or are you teaching in line with what the research says about how people really and truly, authentically learn in ways where deep understandings stick for a lifetime? Hope that helps.